Welcome to the Asana Kitchen podcast. I'm David Garrigues. Nice to be with you all. Before we get started, just want to let you know about my upcoming Bali retreat. So I've got a teacher training in December, 2.5 weeks. It's an excellent opportunity with a small group. So if you want to go deep into the subject of teaching and refine your skills, either get started or explore the path or deepen your teaching. Encourage you to check it out. And then also in January, I'll be doing my annual MYSORE intensive. It's always a nice gathering from people from all over the world. And then also just one other thing is I have this ongoing subscription channel where I have a new release every week, having short forms, video tutorials, and a monthly live event. And then also I have my whole library of past video courses and things that you can access. So just a heads up, what you're about to listen to is a class that as part of a class that I gave, and it was for some Chinese students, so it was translated into Chinese. And so Joy, the angel, has removed that translation for the most part. So, but once in a while you might hear like me and the translator talking at the same time, so you hear a little bit of Chinese or something. We thought that it was good enough talk to go ahead and do that, and it still plays well, but I'm just giving you that information. And then also you can go on YouTube and watch it, the video and the whole thing. You'll see it translated, but you'd be able to see me if you wanted to, just kind of see it unedited. But this is also good the way it is, and so I hope you enjoy it. Okay.
She wants to hear your take on the recent passing of Sharath, because on Chinese social media, we've read a lot of pessimistic reviews and comments on Ashtanga.
Uh-huh. Well, but okay, all right. Well, for one, to me, I mean, people can make their own choice, but I think it's not, certainly not automatic that Sharath dying at 53 years old has anything to do with like Ashtanga being bad for you. Like that is not an automatic connection I would make at all. So, I mean, every single one of us has our own date with Yama, the god of death. Okay, and not a single one of us is fully in control of when that date comes, despite what we would like to think. Not a single one of us. Do you know when you're going to die? Do you know how many years you have here? And you think just because you do yoga that automatically means that you should have a long life? No.
Bullshit.
That's just not the way life works. And to focus on that is, I don't know, to me just very strange. I don't go to that place. I don't go to that place.
What's strange?
To think this Ashtanga yoga teacher died young, and so Ashtanga is bad. It's like, what? I mean, yeah, it's just, this is not, there's so many other aspects to it that are much more valuable and compelling to me. But like I said, if everybody's different, and if that scares you or makes you question the practice that you're doing, then that's, I mean, it's, I don't, that's your right or your idea. I mean, I don't, it just doesn't do that to me. I don't have that response in myself. Like not at all. It doesn't make me go, wow, Ashtanga, like Ashtanga caused Sharath's death. That's just like, no. So I'll tell you a little bit about some things that I think about, though, with it. Well, one is what I said, is that none of us knows when we are going to go. And so this makes life, should make you very appreciative of your life, very wanting to make the most and the best out of the life that you have, the time that you have. And in terms of you personally, but also the people you love, because you never know when they might die too. And then the things that you love too. So with Ashtanga, immediate reaction, it brings fear about Ashtanga dying. He held this place right in the center of the lineage. And now it's gone. But after that initial fear, then, well, I remember a couple of things. So one is that there's many strong teachers. I call them lineage holders. Okay, so Ashtanga will not die. So that practice will go on, and that's good. But then also, like what I was saying to Yikong about the importance of having that structure so that it can be passed on. It's not an easy equation, because you already know that I disagreed with how a significant portion of how Sharath approached the practice, and there's a whole bunch of people that do it that way. And so I use props, and I do all these modifications, and all these things that we're learning. And I feel that these are really important and valuable, but I still like that it comes from this basic structure that I don't want to lose track of by widening it out. And so it's a real dance. I have the exact opposite reaction to what you're telling me is on the Chinese social media. Okay, so for me, instead of going, I have less faith in Ashtanga now, and I'm not sure about that practice, and I go, now I have a bigger responsibility now to uphold that lineage and pass it on to other people. Like, it makes me like care about it more, and realize that I've got to step up. And I hope that that's the reaction you have, because you understand that it is up to each person to value that system and then practice it and share it. And in his own way, Sharath was a beautiful sharer of the lineage. And we lost him. And so now we've got to take up the slack. And one last thing I want to say about this. It's about yoga in general. There's all kinds of unrealistic beliefs or ideas that are perpetrated about yoga. And one is that it makes you live long. It might make you live long, but it might not.
这是
And because you do yoga and then you don't live long, that doesn't mean you did yoga wrong necessarily.
并不一定是这样。
And then also because you did yoga and then you lived long, that doesn't necessarily mean you did good yoga. And so yoga, and people have ideas about happiness, like that when you do yoga, you're not supposed to get angry, you're not supposed to be sad, you're not supposed to react,
你不应当起反应。
you don't have any ego. All of these things are bunk. Yoga is to make you more human, more loving.
让我们
See, understand, there's actually only one superpower that yoga gives.
超
Okay?
能力，
One. And that is the strength and the courage to care about the invisible spiritual dimension of life. So you understand, for a person in this world to devote themselves to a spiritual practice, like make it a big part of their life, this is hard to do. Look at the world. Everything's oriented towards materialism. But the yogi says, no, that stuff's not as important. It's over here what's important. Way over here. And you understand how much strength and courage that takes. And you understand that it's a burden. It's a weight.
这是一个重担。
And for some people, that weight, it'll send you to an early grave. It doesn't mean you were bad or wrong. No, it means you accepted something one of the deepest challenge that a human being can accept. Okay, so your measure of your success as a yogi is not about how long you live, how strong you are, how flexible you are, or even how happy you are. There's something more important than those things. And it has to do with soul and like deep love and caring for what's really the pith of life. Okay, one other thing I want to tell you real quick before. In a certain way, like, I said we don't get to choose our death, but there's, I don't know if you know this author in China, Carlos Castaneda. Well, he was an anthropologist, and he wrote all these books about this shaman, that he learned from, he met and he learned from in Mexico. And so Carlos Castaneda, he was the everyday guy. He was like the ordinary person. And Don Juan was the guy's name, his teacher. And he was the sage, the master. So one time they always met way out in the desert. And so one time he had Don Juan told Carlos Castaneda to meet him in the middle of a city. And they went to this park, and there was a man dying in the park. And Carlos Castaneda, he thought it was like really tragic and sad. And then Don Juan, like, he showed Carlos Castaneda the scene from his perspective. And he made him look at the light. It was like the time of day and the light. It was super beautiful. And there was like everything, the whole scene, the trees and the park and the setting. The man was surrounded by his friends and his family. And he basically told the Carlos Castaneda, that this man was actually had orchestrated his death, and it was everything about it was perfect for him. Sharath, he died like out in nature, surrounded by his students. Of course, it's sad and hard,
当然，
and I wish he was alive. But he lived a good life. He was a very loving person, and he died surrounded by what he was passionate about. That's what I have to tell you, or what I have to share, and what my thoughts are on this. And so I hope that gives you some food for thought and inspires you and helps you to strengthen your connection to your practice and to the Ashtanga lineage. So thank you for joining me. I want to remind you, come join me, come see me in Bali. December, teacher training, January, MYSORE intensive. And would love to see you in person. And it's always such a nice kind of international and global group, and really looking forward to seeing you all that are able to make it. Okay, so namaste, all the best.